For my presentation, I will be using only one person as an audience. Today I'll be talking about geology of petroleum formation, reservoir rocks, traps, and offshore drilling. I'll be discussing briefly what petroleum is and how it forms, as well as some factors that contribute to its formation and some advantages and disadvantages of petroleum. What exactly is petroleum? Petroleum is described as an oily and flammable substance that occurs naturally on most sedimentary rocks that are beneath the surface of the earth. Sometimes petroleum is addressed as crude oil, but in general it is a product of plants and animals that lived a million years ago. For my thesis statement, I'll be saying that although the advances in modern life have experienced some advances, and this advance could be attributed to the commodity of hydrocarbon fuels, and some resources have been taken to reduce the amount of pollutants these fuels release, they altogether have created a problem for the planet and for the inhabitants themselves. Now let's talk about the formation of hydrocarbon fuels. The whole process of hydrocarbon formation can be best described as a deposit of dead organisms, plants and animals that have decomposed under extreme pressure and heat, as you can see on the screen over here. After millions of years that have passed by, and some heat and compression has been pressed on rocks beneath the surface of the earth, this dead organic matter then can produce oil, coal, and natural gas as we know it. Some advantages of the resources can be best attributed to transportation, as you can see. Much of this fuel is used mainly for transportation purposes, and although this is an advantage, it could also create a high disadvantage for the environment. Some disadvantages of hydrocarbon fuel can range from global warming that destroys the ozone layer because of the release of CO2. Fresh water could be polluted as well because during hydraulic fracturing, some chemicals are released into the water itself. Smog is a release as well from the hydrocarbon fuels, as you can see in the picture. And certainly these disadvantages seem to outweigh the advantages. Now my conclusion is simple. We as consumers and beneficiaries of its advances, we must either find a way to decrease our dependence on the commodity, such as using other sources of fuel, and or if we don't lessen our dependence on hydrocarbon fuels, we will have to suffer the consequences of our overindulgence on the hydrocarbon fuels, commonly known as fossil fuels. Okay, Mike.